Hi everybody, I am Yacht Chef Sandy. Welcome back to my galley. Well, actually today I'm in the studio here in New York and I'm super excited to be bringing you a really nice couple of dishes. We're starting with a marinated beet salad. It's absolutely gorgeous and we're going to roast the beets and we're going to do this salad over some beautiful greens with a truffle nut vinaigrette that's absolutely fabulous. So it's really exciting and we are going to be serving that alongside a New England clam chowder with a brown butter garlic crouton on top. I'm so excited because this recipe was actually requested by one of the viewers of this show. So thank you so much for sending me the email. And she said that no one had really done a clam chowder, a really good clam chowder, so she'd love to see one. So here we go. I'm actually also on my boat right now in Rhode Island, here in New England, and so we have all the beautiful clams and all the beautiful shellfish up here that New England has to offer. So it's super excited to be able to play around with some of these ingredients. So let's get started on our beet salad. So these are our beautiful beets. They're absolutely gorgeous, and I'm kind of new to doing beets, but I'm really excited by them because I love it. I love the salad. It's beautiful and delicious, so I wanted to share it with you. So when we prepare these, the first thing I'm going to do is just cut off the end here and all these beautiful greens. I'm not going to be using those today, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to cut off the end, and these beets have been washed, so they are ready to go. So we'll do this with all three of our beets. Now these guys take a little while to roast in the oven. So I have gone ahead and done, I roasted some up last night, so we don't have to wait too long. But I wanted to talk you through the process, and so we'll do that. So here we go. I have my beets all ready now, and I have a little pan here that I've lined with foil, and I'm just going to put my beets right in here, kind of nestle them together a little bit, and then I'm going to put about a quarter cup of water in here, and then I'll fold this foil up around and just kind of make a little packet. So they're really kind of steamed more so than roasted, but that's going to come in real handy in the next step. So let me go ahead and just shoot a little water in, and then I'll put them in the oven. There we go, that's good. Now these will be in a 400-degree oven for about an hour. You can check on them and make sure they're good. I'm not seasoning these because we're gonna put them in a marinade that's really flavor forward. So I'm just gonna cook them just like this, okay? I'm just gonna seal that foil around there because we want that water to stay in. 400-degree oven for about an hour, give it a check, you know, maybe a little more, a little less, depending on your particular oven. All right, so here we go. And we'll come back for those later. But as I mentioned, I have done some homework and I have some beets ready. So these are great. I did them last night. And what we're going to do is I peeled one already, but we're going to peel these other three real quick. And I want to show you how it works. I'm going to just lean over here and grab a paper towel. And this will get your hands a little stained. It'll usually wash off, but you might want to grab a pair of gloves if you have one, or just be careful with the paper towel. So we'll just pick it up and kind of rub it, and the skin comes off super easy. And then boom, it is done. Look at that. So there you can see the skin and a little beet juice, but that's it. How simple is that, okay? So that's fabulous. I'll just do one more and then we'll cut these up and we'll put them in our marinade. When I do this, I usually quarter my beets. You can certainly do whatever size you like. And if you like it round or, you know, whatever, you do you. All right, I think what I will do is I'll kind of quarter mine. Let me move this so you can see. You can see my pink fingers, and I'll just quarter these, and they're just so gorgeous. And I'm going to put them in this bowl here, and then I will talk you through. My marinade is very simple. It is a little bit of apple cider vinegar, a little bit of thyme, and a little bit of olive oil, and that is it. I'll also add some salt and pepper on top for good measure. I have some beautiful Himalayan pink salt, courtesy of my sponsor for today, so thank you so much. We appreciate that salt, it's fabulous. I have it in my salt grinder over here. All right, so there go my beets. I did not peel that last one, so he's gonna just, he gets a pass today. All right, so here's the olive oil. Boom. And once these marinate, and if you could marinate, you know, for a good few days if you like, but you know, 30 minutes I would say minimum, up to overnight's really good, and then anything longer they last and they're just great. The last time I made them, I had this salad for 3 or 4 days in a row. It was really nice. Okay, so I just have them in there. I'm going to give them a little swish, And as I said, I'm going to give them a little salt and pepper, and then we'll set those aside. We're going to come back and do our truffle nut vinaigrette as well as our brown butter garlic croutons that will top our clam chowder. Okay, so like I said, salt and pepper is going to go here. I'll just put these in the fridge and let them marinate while we're doing the rest of our meal, and we'll be back in a few. Hi everybody, we're back, and our next step is to do our truffle nut vinaigrette. So this is a great dressing that I just started making not too long ago, and I love it on this beet salad. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to go and throw our croutons in the oven to make our brown butter garlic croutons. So this is going to be super quick. All we need to do is put our ingredients in. I have 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar, and I have a tablespoon of truffle oil. This is really delicious. If you happen to be one of the people that doesn't love truffle, you can just use olive oil, but I promise you, you will love it. So I recommend the truffle oil. I also have about a ½ tablespoon of Dijon mustard that's gonna go in there. It'll be delicious. And I have just, a little bit of, I have a pinch of sugar. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix this up and I'm gonna taste it and see how I feel. Sometimes the vinegar might be a little bit too acidic for me and I might want to pop a sweetness, so we'll see. I'm not gonna make it sweet by any means. It's just a little bit for balance, okay? So this is so super easy. I'm just quickly whisking it, and I'm gonna reach over here. I have a tasting spoon ready, and let's see. Oh, I smell that truffle. It smells great. It's really good. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of sugar. That's really nice. Now, I want to mention, I'm doing this with a honey goat cheese, okay? So that cheese is a little bit sweet on its own. If I were doing it with a blue cheese, which sometimes I do, and it's really beautiful with the blue cheese also, I might add a bit more sugar for balance, because that blue cheese doesn't have any of the sweetness to help balance it out. So I've just made a small serving here, just because we're in the studio, we're not doing a big batch. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pour it right from my mixing bowl into this beautiful ramekin here, and it's going to be ready for me when we're ready to dress our salad. Now, the croutons, oh, one more thing I forgot. So I have my toasted pine nuts. I did these the night before, last night. So they're all toasted for us, so we didn't have to do that in the studio. The way I do this is just a dry pan over medium-high heat. Keep a good eye on it because they'll go quickly once they're toasted. But we'll just put that right in the vinaigrette and that'll be perfect. You can also drizzle some on top of your salad if you like. Now, these croutons are probably the easiest crouton ever, because all we're going to do is put these on a sheet pan just dry and just bake them at about 375 for maybe 15 minutes, just until they are just real crunchy. And once that's done, we'll pour the brown butter garlic all over the top, and we'll just stir that up, and that'll be beautiful. I do a different crouton for my Caesar salad that's also really good, but this one is special for this salad. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven for probably about 15 minutes, keep an eye on them, and when they're real super crunchy, then they'll be ready. All right, so we're gonna pop these in, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna get started on our clam chowder. Okay, everybody, our beets are marinating, our salad dressing is made, and now we're going to put our chowder on, okay? So let's talk about the ingredients real quick. First of all, as I said, I'm here, right now I'm in New York, my boat's in New England, and we have beautiful clams here. So I have some beautiful cherry stone clams right here, they're absolutely amazing. And then I have some clean ones that we're going to be using in the chowder. I also have the broth that results when you steam these clams in water that reduces, so we're going to be using that as part of the base for our chowder as well. Just to talk through the process, what we're going to do first is we're going to saute our aromatics in a little bit of butter, our onion, leek, and garlic. Then I'm going to add a little bit of flour to make a bit of a roux, because when I make this, I like it a little bit on the thicker side. So if you like yours on the thinner side, I wouldn't add the flour, and I'm just going to add a little bit, maybe a teaspoon. And then we'll get that going, and then we will add the rest of our ingredients, our beautiful clams, our broth. I have some bacon that I've already done here, and we'll be adding a potato. This really just needs to come to a boil and be at pretty high heat for maybe 15 minutes to get those potatoes all the way cooked through, and let the flavors marinate. If you do it and let it sit overnight, it's even better. So it's one of those things that you can kind of put in the fridge, and it only gets better with time. I also forgot to mention my bay leaf over here, and we're just going to finish it with a little bit of parsley. Okay, so before we go back over to the cooktop, I just want to walk through this technique of cutting the potato with you. So a lot of times, when I cook at home, sometimes I don't make this special cubed potato, but I wanted to do it on the show. I wanted to walk through the technique. It does waste a little bit of a potato, because what we're doing is making a cut. It's called a batonette. So it's like a little baton, and it involves kind of squaring the potato off. So we're going to kind of cut all these pieces off until we have a square. Sometimes I kind of cheat a little bit and leave a little bit of the rounded piece, just because I hate to waste it. And so I would probably get fired in a French restaurant. But I'm trying to go ahead and just cut it all off right now. All right, so we're just making little squares. And then I'm going to come back over here. This potato is sticking to my knife. I actually have a perforated knife that of course I'm not using right now, and it has less surface area because it kind of has some holes cut into the blade, and that makes starchy things like potato not stick to your knife. So that's a really fabulous knife. But you can see that's a beautiful cube. And then I'm just putting it to wait for me here in a little bit of water, because if you don't put your potato in water, they will turn brown. So just an easy way to avoid that is just soak them in a little bit of water while you're getting all your ingredients together. Okay, so those are my beautiful potatoes. And unfortunately, with this method, this is really waste. Now I could use these and make a mashed potato or something, but probably today I'm just gonna go ahead and let it go. But I just wanted to walk through that technique. So after this, we are going to move back over to the cooktop. As I mentioned, we're gonna do our aromatics, we're gonna get that chowder going, and then our croutons finished that we made a little while ago. So we're gonna do our brown butter that will go on top of the croutons, and then we're gonna get that chowder going, and we will be able to eat pretty soon. All right, so we'll see you back at the cooktop, and we'll be right back. Experience the wonder of a holiday at sea in the Virgin Islands or New England on your very own private yacht. You'll experience a fantasy-filled week of white sand beaches, amazing sunsets, gourmet meals, and the best time you can possibly imagine. Make memories with your friends and family that you will never forget. Email us at info@sailthedream.com or visit www.sailthedream.com for more details. Have you ever said, "I'll take that dream vacation someday"? Well, at Cool Cat Charters, someday is now. We offer all-inclusive private yacht charters at every price point, for the more budget-minded traveler up to a full luxury experience. Come celebrate your special occasion or just schedule a family getaway in the gorgeous Caribbean islands. Sail the beautiful islands of the Caribbean and see why so many people just can't get enough. Visit coolcatcharters.com to see a listing of our featured yachts, or contact us to learn more about the many other sailing and motor yachts available for charter in the islands. Okay, so we're back at the cooktop now, and what we're going to do is put our chowder together. So first we're going to put in our butter along with our aromatics. Now I pulled my pan off the flame because the pan was really hot. So when you do this, just make sure the pan's not too hot. Hopefully it's cooled down enough. I splashed it with a little water also to bring down the temp. So in goes the butter. Oh, that's fabulous. Okay, that's wonderful. I can probably bring it back over to the heat now, but I just did not want that butter to heat up and get brown. I do want brown butter for my croutons, but not just yet. All right, so let's take that back on over to the flame. Alrighty, so I'll let that butter come up to temp, and then we will put in our leeks and our onions and our garlic. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting that in now. And we'll get that going. I probably let it cool down a little too much, you know. It's one or the other, right? I'll bring the temp up a little bit more on that. There we go. Okay, perfect. So we'll get that going. You might notice I have my potatoes over here boiling, and the reason I'm doing that, I wouldn't normally do that, but you know, I'm in the studio and I just wanted to kind of speed them along just a little bit. So normally I would just put them straight into the broth with the clam juice and everything, and they will absolutely go there in a moment, but I just wanted to have them getting a little softer while I'm doing this work, okay? So there go our leeks and our onions. Just sweat those a little bit, and we're going to be using some of that beautiful Himalayan salt that our sponsor gave us. Pardon me, 1 second. So we'll give a couple of grinds of our sponsor's salt. It's absolutely gorgeous, okay? And we'll get that going. And the next thing we'll do is add in our garlic. I do not put the garlic in initially because that garlic will cook a little faster than the onions, and we don't want that bitter garlicky taste happening. So once those have sweated a little bit, a minute or two, we'll follow up with our garlic. I have a couple of cloves of garlic. I like to press my garlic. It's quick. You know, certainly you can dice it if you like, or you can do however you like, but that smells absolutely delicious. The next thing we're going to do, as we mentioned before, is I'm just going to add a touch of flour and make a little bit of a roux, because I like mine just a tiny bit a little bit thicker. Maybe, you know, that's maybe half a teaspoon or so, so not a lot. I might add a touch more, probably that much again. And again, that'll just make it a little bit thicker at the end of the day. All right, so there we go. We'll let that cook down just a minute, and then the next thing we'll do is add in our bacon. I've already chopped it, and I cooked it off already, so it's ready to go. And at this point, we can really add everything, whatever order we like. I'm going ahead and add the bacon, give that a little stir, and then I'll add our beautiful clams that are all cleaned. There's a little clam juice in there, that's perfect. Oh, that sounds good. Give us a little extra flavor. I have about a half a cup of half and half. If you like to make it a little lighter, you can use milk, but you know, I like it a little bit creamy. So that's that. And then I will put in our clam juice. Like I said before, this is the broth that results when you steam those clams. And that is really what gives it that beautiful clammy essence that we love. Finally, I have a few bay leaves here, a little bit of thyme, and that is about it. So we'll let that just simmer for a little bit. The potatoes, I'll check on the potatoes. I think I'll go ahead and put those potatoes right back in. They're nice and hot now, and that's just all I wanted to achieve with that. So let me see, I have my little spoon right over here. Pardon me 1 second. All right, and I'm just gonna scoop these in. And in the meantime, I think while I'm talking, I'm going to turn on this burner to heat up our pan for our brown butter. It's something I wanted to do on camera, but it happens real quickly, so I can't I can't multitask too much. So we'll get these potatoes in here and have this come up to temp momentarily. And this pan is getting warmer. And then I'll grab my butter. So this brown butter just will give our croutons beautiful flavor once we add that garlic to it. You guys might remember from season 1, we did a brown butter chocolate chip cookie that was fabulous. And so it's the same technique. We just get the pan real hot and we get those milk solids in our butter to turn brown and toasty, and then it smells nutty, it's beautiful, all right? So let's just see how our pan's doing. It's doing okay. The pan doesn't have to be, you know, super hot when you put it in, but you definitely want to watch it. That's perfect. So what's going to happen here is this butter will melt, then it'll kind of get foamy, and when it's getting foamy, you're getting close, okay? So just keep an eye on it, and it'll turn a beautiful color brown, okay? So here we go. So again, I just wanted to say thanks to the viewer who reached out to me and asked for this recipe. So I love hearing from you guys, so please shoot me an email. You can go to my website, and links are there with all my contact information. Let me know what you'd like to see cooked next, and I loved experimenting with new things. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you, and it's really fun. So all right, that butter's getting nice and hot, and it's going to be foaming up here in a second, and it's looking good. I was telling some of the guys in the studio about a fun place we go in New England called the Raw Bar, and it's actually a boat. And when we're in a certain anchorage in Cuttyhunk, The boat comes out to us and they shuck oysters right on the spot and they serve them to you. They have shrimp cocktail, they have their beautiful oysters, and they have the delicious clam chowder. So that is it's a real treat to go there and have them come out and come right to your boat and serve you all the goodies. So that's a lot of fun. So I hope our clam chowder is good. I'm sure it will be, but I have to definitely give a shout out to the raw bar. Okay, so our butter is getting nice and foamy, and those, the milk solids are starting to brown. It's getting right where we want it, okay? I can start to smell the nuttiness there, and that is fabulous. Now, what we're going to do is once this butter gets where we want it to be, we'll turn off the heat and then we'll put the garlic in. And I also have a ramekin ready to go because this is gonna, as I said, you can see it's brown right now. It'll happen real fast. The garlic will cook quickly and we don't want to burn that garlic because then it has kind of an acrid taste, okay? So like I said, I'm taking it off the heat. I'm just gonna throw this garlic in real quick and then even get it out of the pan because the heat in this pan is enough to be a little too much for that garlic. So boom, and there we go, right into the ramekin. Yes, oh, that's gorgeous. And that is going to be the crowning glory for those croutons that we made, because they were plain, right? We didn't put anything on them at all. They just were dry breadcrumbs. But that is going to change it and elevate its game 100%. All right, so now we have all the components. We're going to let our chowder simmer for a little while and cook and let the flavors marry. And then we will be ready to plate and have our beautiful chowder with our marinated beet salad. So we are now ready to plate. Our chowder finished up, it looks absolutely gorgeous. Our beets have marinated, our salad's ready to go, and our crouton elements are here. So I think what we'll do is we'll start by dressing the salad. So I have a beautiful combination of spinach and arugula. There's a little bit of watercress in there, but the arugula has that nice pepperiness, and the watercress sometimes can be a little much. So I only have a tiny bit of watercress. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour over some of this beautiful dressing. I'm just going to give it a little stir since we made it a little while ago, and just pour this right over the top. And I'm going to just toss it around a little bit with my tongs here, and just to make sure everything gets nice and incorporated. Oh, that's great. All right, so that's our salad, and we're going to plate it in a minute, and then we'll put the beets on top. So for right now, that'll stay there. Now we're going to dress our croutons. So our beautiful croutons, again, just the cubed bread, just toasted it in the oven for a little while. And this is that great brown butter garlic that we just made a little while ago. So I'm just going to pour this right over the croutons, and these croutons will stay nice and crispy with this great brown butter and garlic on top. So we'll just give these guys a little bit of a stir. And I keep telling myself, don't put them on the salad, because a lot of times I do salads with croutons on, but these go on the chowder. So don't let me mess up. All right, so there we have that. I'm going to now plate our beautiful salad on this gorgeous salad plate. Excellent. All right, and then we will grab our beets and just put a few of these beets right on top. Beautiful. All right, I'll do at least one more, pardon my fingers. All right, I tell you what, I'll do two more. In presentation, it's always best to do odd numbers. So 3 is good, 5 is good, 4 is okay, but just visually having an odd number is preferable to the eye. Now I have this beautiful honey goat cheese that we talked about before, so I'm just going to sprinkle this right on top. Again, pardon my fingers. I'm not using gloves today. I'm not cooking on the boat. I'm just here in the studio, so I'm kind of taking some liberties. But beautiful goat cheese there, and that's fabulous. So that's pretty much a wrap for that. And our beautiful chowder, I would like to go ahead and finish that with a little bit of parsley I have right here, and our wonderful croutons. All right, so here come the gorgeous crowning glory croutons, and they'll just float right on top and be gorgeous. Love it. Okay, so let's just move these things right over here. So front and center, love it. Okay guys, well this is New England at its best, truly. It doesn't get any better than this. And I'm just gonna have to have a little taste of this chowder. And my crouton there has a lot of sesame seeds on it. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm excited about that. Mmm. Super delicious. Nice and seafood briny. It's absolutely perfect. And it's gonna go great with that beet salad. So thank you for joining me. Visit me on my website at yachtchefsandy.com. And from there, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram and all the places. And please come to my YouTube channel. Lots of fun videos, fun things to see. I post new stuff all the time when I'm out running around on the boat. All right, so I'll see you out there. And don't forget to watch all the episodes this season because we're gonna have a lot of fun.